Welcome back to Dumo Plays. Today, we're going to be talking about game sharing between accounts. Now, the last video that I did on the Nintendo Switch ecosystem focused on primary consoles, what they are, how to set it up, how to change it, what the importance is of picking the right one. For a better understanding of that, I'm going to try to link it right here. If not, it'll be down in the description. Since you're going to need an understanding for that, because that is the basis of this whole thing, really quickly, the first time a Nintendo Switch account logs into the eShop, it sets that console as the primary console for that account. Now, you can send your account to another system, but it will be known as a non-primary, or we could also call it a secondary account. You can play the games on that system just fine from that account, but since it's not primary, you can't play on other accounts that are on the system. And if the primary account logs into any sort of digital game whatsoever, it freezes the game that the non-primary console is in. This isn't game sharing. This is a way of having two devices. The basic idea of this is to have your Switch that's in your dock and then your Switch that you travel with you. So let's talk about actual game sharing. How it's done, what the limitations are, and how you can set it up. All right, let's first start with some limitations. This is a setup for families to share games. This is meant to save families a little bit of money. This isn't meant for a bunch of friends to buy a bunch of games and that one person buys it and 4 or 5 of you get to play the game for free. It's not going to work like that. In fact, once you get beyond the second system, this whole thing crashes and falls apart anyways. So it really is just meant for basically a family of 2 kids. Even once you add in the third one, things get a little bit murky. Once you get the fourth, you're basically just doubling this setup to make it work for all 4 of them. So let's talk about what we need now. We're going to need 2 Nintendo Switch Online accounts. Luckily, the family plan is cheaper than buying 2 separate accounts, and it does cover up to 8 accounts for the year. So at least if you do have like 4 kids, 4 family members, you don't have to keep spending more and more on the Nintendo Switch Online accounts, which unfortunately is kind of the cheapest part of the whole thing. The other thing you need is 1 digitally purchased game and 2 consoles, or else why are you even bothering doing this? Okay, so let's talk about the setup. So you have 2 switches. One of the switches has both accounts primary. So both accounts are going to be primary on that switch. The second switch is going to have the account added to it as a secondary or a non-primary account, and you need to add the account that has purchased the game. Now, what's going to end up happening is the player on the second system that has just the non-primary account with the game purchase, they're going to play on that account, and they're not actually going to be able to play on any other account. If they just make a dummy account to run through a single player, it's not going to open up the game. It will not pass the online check. The player on the first console is never going to touch the account that actually has the game purchased. They need to play on the other primary account. Since the game was purchased on the account, it is primary on the system, they are allowed to open it up on other accounts. So they're going to be able to open it up on the other primary account. The other player on the other Switch will open it up on the non-primary account that has purchased the game, and they will not conflict. They can actually play online together. So as long as they stick to that, they're not going to have any problems, other than the fact that the second console needs to be online. It needs to pass an online check. Now, if you're traveling, you can actually tether it to your phone. The online check is a few seconds, and then you can turn off your data, and it will continue playing the game just fine. That's how I've had to do it on the bus before I knew what to do with the primary and non-primaries. All right, let's take a closer look at some of this. All right, in this short video, you can see I'm going to try to open the game up in an account that didn't have it purchased from the non-primary console, and of course it says that you haven't purchased the software and that it cannot be played, and then it directs you to the eShop to get you to try to buy it. Here we can see that I open it up in the account that actually has purchased the game, and after an online check, it does indeed open the software. Here I'm waiting in a lobby that I created for Merrick, who is the primary of the account and is running on another primary account that has the Nintendo Switch Online service added to it. Things worked perfectly fine here, other than some issues which are really just game issues and not issues in game sharing itself. We played through the first level without any hiccups other than some frozen frames, but again, it's just an older game, and that's the problem with it. And here in this scenario, we finished the first boss, and then Merrick shut down the game, therefore disconnecting, and I continued on playing without any problems whatsoever. So let's look at another scenario. Okay, now in this clip, I'm playing the game, and then Merrick decides that he's going to play on the account that the game is on. He is the primary, so it kicks me out. It freezes my game. Now, he then shut the game down, which allowed me to clear the online check again, and I could go back in. My progress was saved. Everything was right where I left it, and no progress lost whatsoever. Now, the last scenario that I couldn't show here is what happens if I'm playing on the non-primary and then someone else happens to have that same account as a non-primary and they play. Well, it freezes me, and then I can go back in and it freezes them. So as far as I could find, what ends up happening is the last non-primary account that signs in is the one that gets priority. However, whenever a primary account signs in, it has priority, and no one can freeze that primary account. Okay, so in the future, I'm going to be discussing game sharing options for families and just kind of help parents navigate this ecosystem in the easiest way possible, and just sort of put all their options out there for them to figure out what is going to work best for them and their families. Other than that, that's going to do it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. I do have Discord and Twitter. If you feel more comfortable reaching out that way, go right ahead. Those links are down in the description. If this helped you out, or if you liked the video, please leave a like and feel free to subscribe for more. All right, until next time, have a great day. Bye.